Nearly 3,000 years ago, a blind poet named Homer composed one of the greatest stories ever told.
This is the world of Homer's Odyssey. I'm going to take you on Odysseus's impossible journey home. Every storm, every monster, every heartbreaking choice, not a dry summary, a living, breathing retelling that will make you feel the salt spray, hear the Sirens' song, and taste the blood in the great hall. Imagine a world where the wine-dark sea stretches endless and unforgiving, where gods walk among men, jealous and capricious, where one man's cunning can topple cities, and one man's pride can doom him to 20 years of torment. Let's begin. The Trojan War is over. The mighty walls of Troy lie in smoking ruins. Thanks to the greatest trick in military history, the Trojan horse, masterminded by Odysseus, king of rocky Ithaca. He should be home by now, feasting with his beautiful, clever wife Penelope, cradling the son he barely knows, Telemachus. But 10 years after leaving Troy, Odysseus is still lost. Poseidon, lord of the earthquakes and tides, has cursed him. Why? Because Odysseus dared to blind the sea god's own son, a savage cyclops named Polyphemus. And so the man who outwitted an entire army now fights the very ocean itself. But to understand his suffering, we must sail backward. To the day he left Troy's burning shores. 12 proud ships, 600 brave men, all bound for Ithaca. Their first pit stop, the city of the Cicones. Needing supplies for their long journey, they sack the city, taking whatever and whomever they wish. And when they have all that they need, Odysseus's men, ignoring his orders to return to the ship, instead choosing to indulge in godly amounts of wine. They overstay their welcome, and the Cicones reinforcements arrive outside the city. Heavenly amounts of arrows rain down on drunk, arrogant Greeks. 72 Greeks die before Odysseus is able to drag his men back to the ships. A harsh lesson in discipline, humility, and greed was taught that day. A north wind then drives them south to the land of the lotus eaters, peaceful people whose diet is the honey-sweet lotus flower. Odysseus sends 3 scouts ashore for water and information. They accept the lotus from their hosts. One taste and all memory of home, duty, and the journey vanishes. They want only to stay forever in blissful forgetfulness. Odysseus marches ashore, finds them, and physically drags them weeping back to the ships, tying them beneath the benches until the craving fades.
Whoever ate that honeyed plant never cared to report back nor return home. The world is full of pleasures that steal your purpose,
he tells his men. Then comes the island that haunts every retelling. The land of the Cyclops, lawless giants with a single blazing eye. Curiosity drives Odysseus. He takes his best men and strong wine to a cave brimming with cheese wheels and bleating lambs. They feast, waiting for the owner. Night falls. The ground shakes. Polyphemus enters. A mountain of a monster, 20 feet tall, reeking of milk and wildness. He rolls a boulder across the cave mouth like a child closing a toy box. He sees the Greeks. His lips curl.
What are you doing in my home?
Odysseus steps forward, brave but trembling.
We are guests, protected by Zeus.
Polyphemus laughs. A sound like boulders grinding. He snatches 2 men. Dashes their brains against the stone and devours them raw. Bones, marrow, all. The Greeks huddle in horror as the giant sleeps, belly swollen. Trapped behind the immovable boulder, death seems certain. But Odysseus's mind is sharper than any sword. He offers the Cyclops unmixed wine, 3 bowls. The giant drinks, roars with delight, asks Odysseus's name.
What is your name, stranger?
Nobody.
Odysseus lies.
My name is Nobody.
Polyphemus collapses in drunken slumber. Odysseus and his men heat a massive olive stake in the fire until it glows. With a mighty thrust, they drive it into the single eye. Polyphemus awakens screaming, the cave echoing like a volcano. He rips out the stake, blood and fire pouring down his face. Other Cyclops gather outside.
Who hurt you, brother? Nobody.
He howls.
Nobody is killing me.
They laugh and leave. At dawn, blind Polyphemus gropes to let his sheep out. Odysseus ties his men beneath the ram's thick fleece. They escape undetected. As the ship rows away, Odysseus stands on the stern, heart pounding with triumph and fatal pride.
Cyclops, if anyone asks who blinded you, tell them it was Odysseus, son of Laertes, king of Ithaca.
Polyphemus hurls a mountaintop into the sea, nearly swamping the ship. Then he prays to his father Poseidon.
Let Odysseus never see home, or if fate decrees it, let him come late, broken, alone, on a foreign ship, and find sorrow in his house.
The sea darkens. Poseidon hears. After 6 days of weary rowing, a miracle appears on the horizon. The floating island of Aeolia. Picture it, an entire island drifting like a ship upon the waves, encircled by an unbreakable wall of bronze that rises sheer from the sea, topped by cliffs no mortal could climb. Inside, a palace gleams, and the air is filled with the scent of endless feasting. Here rules Aeolus, son of Hippotas, keeper of the winds, beloved by the immortal gods. He lives in perfect happiness with his wife and 12 children, 6 daughters and 6 sons, all married to one another in divine harmony. Day and night their halls ring with music, laughter, and the aroma of roasted meat. Odysseus and his men are welcomed as honored guests. For a full month they rest, bathed, clothed in fresh tunics, and feasted beyond imagining. Aeolus, curious and kind, draws Odysseus aside each evening.
Tell me of Troy.
He urges.
The wooden horse, the burning city, the heroes who fell.
Odysseus speaks, his voice carrying the weight of 10 years of war, and Aeolus listens, spellbound, asking question after question. At last, when the Greeks long for home, Aeolus smiles.
You have entertained me well, son of Laertes. Let me repay your stories with a gift.
He summons all the raging winds, the north, south, east, every storm that lashes the sea, and binds them struggling into a great leather bag, tying the mouth with unbreakable silver wire. Only the gentle west wind, Zephyr, is left free to fill their sails.
This bag holds every tempest.
Aeolus warns.
Keep it sealed, and Zephyr will carry you straight to Ithaca without a single oar stroke.
The Greeks board their ships in awe. Zephyr breathes softly, and for 9 full days and nights they glide homeward. Odysseus stands at the prow, never sleeping, guarding the precious bag. On the 10th day, Ithaca appears, smoke rising from hearths, familiar mountains piercing the sky. The men cheer. Odysseus, eyes burning with exhaustion, finally allows himself to lie down on the deck. But suspicion festers in the crew. They watch their captain clutch the bag, even in sleep, and whisper,
"He's hiding treasure, gold and silver from Troy, gifts from Aeolus, meant only for him."
Greed overcomes loyalty. While Odysseus slumbers, they untie the silver cord. The winds burst forth like captive beasts, howling, shrieking, tearing the sails. A hurricane engulfs the fleet. Ships spin like leaves. The sky turns black. In moments, they are hurled all the way back to Aeolia's bronze shores. Odysseus awakens to chaos, stumbles ashore with his shaken men, and falls at Aeolus's feet. "Help us again, Lord of Winds. A storm drove us back." Aeolus's face darkens. He recoils as though Odysseus carries plague.
Leave this island at once, most hated of men. I see it now. You are cursed by the gods themselves. I will not aid one whom heaven despises.
The gates slam shut. Shattered and cursed, they row into the void. 7 days of agony later, a harbor gleams ahead. Telepylus, city of the Laestrygonians. The narrow bay looks inviting, but Odysseus's instincts scream, and he moors his ship outside. The rest sail eagerly in, single file. Scouts climb a road to the city and meet a giant maiden at the spring. She leads them smiling to her father's palace. There, horror erupts. King Antiphates, a towering nightmare, meets the Greeks. He seizes one scout and devours him alive, bones cracking, blood spraying. The survivors flee, screaming, trying to warn the ships. Giants swarm the cliffs like demons unleashed, hurling wagon-sized boulders. The barrage is apocalyptic. Ships explode into splinters. Men are pulverized on deck, screaming as limbs crush beneath stone. Survivors leap overboard, only to be speared like fish, impaled bodies hoisted high, screaming in agony as the cannibals roar with laughter. The harbor turns to a churning red slaughterhouse, corpses bobbing amid shattered hulls. Odysseus watches, frozen in helpless rage, as 11 ships and hundreds of his men vanish in a storm of giant fury. He slashes his anchor.
Row, row if you want to live.
his lone ship flees the nightmare as the giant's mocking roars throughout the bay. In one merciless hour, a fleet became a grave. One ship, fewer than 50 souls, faces etched with pure terror. The survivors reach Aia, home of the beautiful witch goddess Circe, daughter of Helios. Odysseus divides the crew, half stay with the ship, half explore under Eurylochus. They find a magnificent palace of polished stone surrounded by mountain lions and wolves. Yet these beasts fawn like dogs, wagging tails, enchanted by Circe's magic. Inside, the beautiful goddess Circe. She welcomes the Greeks warmly, invites them in, seats them on carved chairs, and serves a delicious potion. Pramnian wine mixed with cheese, barley meal, and yellow honey, but secretly drugged with a malignant herb. All drink eagerly, except Eurylochus, who lingers suspiciously outside. In an instant, Circe touches them with her wand and turns them into pigs. They retain their human minds and memories, weeping in terror as she herds them into pens. Eurylochus races back in horror and tells Odysseus, his men are gone, transformed by a goddess. Odysseus arms himself with a sword and strides off alone.
I will go rescue them or die trying.
As he walks the forest path, the god Hermes appears before him in the form of a young man, grasps his hand, and reveals Circe's nature. He gives Odysseus the protective herb moly. Hermes instructs,
When Circe strikes with her wand, draw your sword and rush her as if to kill. She will yield and then invite you to bed. Accept her offer. But first make her swear the great oath of the gods not to harm you.
Odysseus does exactly that. Circe mixes the drugged cup. He drinks without effect. She strikes with her wand. Nothing happens. He leaps up. Sword at her throat. Circe mumbles,
I am astonished that you drank my potion and were not bewitched.
She recognizes the man foretold by prophecy and begs him to put his sword away and share her bed. Odysseus forces the oath first.
Swear by the blessed gods, you will plot no further mischief against me or my friends.
She swears by the gods. Circe then restores his men with a wave of her wand. The entire crew is reunited. Circe becomes a generous host. Daily baths, fresh clothes, endless banquets of meat, bread, and crimson wine. They remain a full year, growing soft with comfort. Until one evening Odysseus sits on the palace roof, staring toward home, tears in his eyes. Odysseus confronts Circe.
It is time to leave.
Her golden eyes darken.
There is only one path to the knowledge you need. You must sail to the edge of the world, to the land of the dead, where the sun never shines. There, perform the ritual of Hades. Dig a pit and pour milk, honey, wine, water, barley. Slaughter the black sheep I give you. Let the blood flow. The spirits will come thirsting. Guard the pit with your sword until the prophet has drunk.
The crew hear the command and go pale. No one speaks as they sail north into ever gloomier seas, until daylight itself fades to perpetual twilight. The air grows cold and heavy, tasting of decay. They beach on a desolate shore where fog clings like grave clothes. Odysseus digs the pit. His men slit the throat of the sheep. Thick black blood pours in, steaming. Then the dead come rushing. A vast host rises from Hades, ghostly, fluttering, countless. Their cry is thin and piercing like bats in a cave, and terror grips every living heart. They crowd the pit, reaching for the blood that alone restores voice and memory. Odysseus stands guard, sword flashing, holding them back. The prophet first. Tiresias, the blind Theban prophet, staff in hand, drinks deep, eyes gleaming though sightless, and speaks the bitter prophecy.
Odysseus, you will reach home if you and your men restrain yourselves. Poseidon rages still for his son's blinding. On Thrinacia, spare the golden cattle of Helios. Touch them, and your ship and crew will be lost. When you reach home, you will find parasites wasting your wealth and courting your wife. Dispose of them by force or cunning. You choose.
The words hang like a sentence. Tiresias fades. Odysseus lets another shade approach, the one he dreads most. His mother, Anticlea, died waiting for him to return home.
My son, why are you here among the dead while still alive?
He asks of home. She answers softly.
Penelope waits for you, ever the faithful wife, but is surrounded by suitors. Telemachus rules the estate wisely in your absence. Your father Laertes wastes away in the fields, grieving, and I died of longing for you. My heart simply broke.
He collapses beside the pit, weeping as though his own heart will break. One final spirit approaches. Achilles, the greatest warrior ever known.
Achilles, most blessed of men, even in death you rule like a king.
Achilles answers, voice hollow.
Do not console me with glory and death. I would rather be the lowest slave on earth than king of all the breathless dead.
Terror seizes Odysseus.
To the ship!
He shouts. They sprint through the fog, launch the black vessel, and row until living light returns. Odysseus and his shaken crew sail back to Aeaea for supplies. Circe, now a friend, comes down from her palace. She gives them supplies for their journey home, but she also brings final, precise warnings of the deadly trials that lie ahead. She speaks of 3 great dangers. First, the Sirens.
2 sirens,
she says.
Sit on a flowering meadow surrounded by the rotting bones of men. Their song is irresistible. Whoever hears it forgets everything. Wife, children, home, and wastes away in longing. Plug your crew's ears with sweet beeswax. If you yourself wish to hear the song, have your men tie you hand and foot to the ship. No matter how you beg or threaten, they must not release you.
She describes the next horrors with chilling clarity.
The path is the narrow strait between 2 horrors. On one side, Scylla, a 6-headed demon. On the other, Charybdis, a whirlpool that swallows everything it touches. You must go through Scylla, sacrifice 6 men rather than the entire ship, and finally, the island Thrinacia, where Helios keeps his sacred cattle. Whatever you do,
Circe warns,
do not harm them. If you do, I foretell ruin for your ship and crew. Even if you escape, you will come home late and in misery, having lost all your friends.
Odysseus thanks her solemnly. At dawn they sail. As they approach the Sirens' island, the men fill their ears with beeswax, and because of Odysseus's curiosity, has his men bind him tightly to the mast so he can hear the sirens. The ship glides into the danger zone. The sirens see the ship and begin their song, 2 voices weaving together like liquid gold.
Come closer, famous Odysseus, great glory of the Greeks. Moor your ship so you may listen to our song, for we know all that has happened and all that will ever be. Join us.
Odysseus strains against the ropes. His eyes bulge, veins stand out on his neck. He shouts commands, pleas, threats, begging to be untied. Tears stream down his face. The crew, deaf to everything, row harder. Only when the song fades and the island drops astern do they cut him free. He collapses, trembling, alive but forever changed. Now comes the passage and the choice Odysseus has dreaded most. On the left, Charybdis, a monstrous whirlpool that would doom the entire ship. On the right, a cave containing Scylla, a 6-headed devil. Circe's advice was merciless.
Sail close to Scylla, lose 6 men, but save the ship.
Odysseus arms himself, determined to fight if he can. As they shoot through the strait, Charybdis sucks the sea down into a gaping chasm. The men glance in terror, but row for their lives. Then, without warning, Scylla strikes like lightning. 6 heads dart down. 6 of Odysseus's best men are snatched screaming from the deck. They are lifted high into the air, arms reaching desperately toward Odysseus, crying his name. Odysseus, save us! He watches helplessly as they are devoured alive above the ship, limbs writhing, voices echoing off the rocks. Odysseus later calls this the most gut-wrenching sight he's ever had to endure, and will have to live with this choice. The ship shoots clear, battered but intact. They reach Thrinacia, island of the sun. 7 herds of 50 snow-white cattle each. Immortal, never increasing or decreasing. Odysseus remembers the warnings of Tiresias and Circe. He wants to sail past without landing, but Eurylochus and others beg to rest one night. Exhausted, Odysseus extracts a solemn oath from every man.
You will touch nothing but the provisions Circe gave us.
Contrary winds rise and pin them on the island for a full month. Supplies dwindle to nothing. Odysseus goes inland to pray for his men, alone on a high cliff. Exhaustion overtakes him, and he falls asleep. Eurylochus speaks the forbidden, fatal words.
Comrades, death by starvation is the worst. Better to eat the cattle and face the wrath of the gods if we must, rather than waste away here. The gods will understand.
They slaughter 6 of the finest cattle. The men roast the meat while Odysseus still sleeps. He wakes to the smells of roasting flesh. He is horrified. For 6 days the men feast. Odysseus refuses to eat. On the 7th day the wind shifts and they launch the ship. Once out of sight of land, Zeus sends their punishment for the cattle. A hurricane strikes, and a thunderbolt sent from Zeus shatters the hull. Every man is flung into the sea and drowned. Only Odysseus survives, drifting on a piece of wreckage. The days are full of torment. The sun scorches him by day, and the cold bites by night. At last, on the 10th day since the shipwreck, a gentle wave carries him toward land. He washes ashore on the island of Ogygia. Odysseus crawls from the surf, barely alive. He collapses beneath a bush and falls into a death-like sleep. Calypso, the veiled nymph with lovely braids, daughter of Atlas, finds him there while wandering her solitary domain. She has lived alone on this hidden island for centuries, immortal and lonely. She carries him to her cave, bathes his wounds, clothes and feeds him. When he wakes, she speaks softly.
Mortal man, you are safe. Stay with me. I will make you immortal and ageless forever. No more pain, no more wandering. Only endless joy in this paradise.
For 7 long years, Odysseus remains her prisoner guest. Calypso loves him fiercely, sharing his bed, offering eternal youth. Yet every dawn, when she turns away, Odysseus slips to the lonely shore. He sits on the rocks, staring across the empty sea toward an invisible Ithaca, tears streaming silently into the waves. His heart aches for Penelope, for Telemachus, for his home. Calypso, knowing he will never love her, releases him.
Go then,
she tells Odysseus, voice breaking.
I will help you leave.
Calypso offers him a ship, gives him his shining armor and a favoring wind. Odysseus launches at dawn, steering by the stars, heart pounding with hope. But Poseidon spots his ship. One final vengeance. The sea god raises his trident. Winds scream from every direction. Waves tower like black mountains. The ship splinters under the onslaught. Odysseus is hurled into the churning deep. Darkness closes over him. A sea nymph, Leucothea, takes pity. She gives him her immortal veil.
Bind this to your waist. It will keep you afloat. When you reach land, cast it back into the wine-dark sea.
For 2 more days and nights he battles the storm, swallowing brine, limbs failing. At dawn on the 3rd day, the waves gentle. Land appears. Scheria, realm of the Phaeacians. He crawls ashore among reeds, kisses the earth, and collapses naked and exhausted. Princess Nausicaa comes to the river to wash royal linens with her maids. Their laughter and ball play wake him. Odysseus emerges, clinging to an olive branch for modesty, crusted with salt. Nausicaa does not flee. She gives him oil to bathe, clean clothes. He follows her to the marvelous city of the Phaeacians, walls of bronze, orchards of eternal fruit. King Alcinous and Queen Arete welcome the stranger. At the feast, the blind bard sings of Troy, of the wooden horse, of Odysseus' own glory. Tears stream down Odysseus' face. Alcinous asks his name and story. For the first time in years, he speaks it.
I am Odysseus, son of Laertes, king of Ithaca.
He recounts every horror and wonder. The hall falls silent with awe and grief. The Phaeacians load him with supplies, and they sail him home while he sleeps at last in unbroken peace. At long last he reaches Ithaca, his home. 20 years have passed. 108 suitors infest Odysseus's palace, devouring his wealth, demanding Penelope marry one of them. Telemachus is grown but powerless. Penelope has delayed them this long, but time is running out. Odysseus disguises himself as a beggar. He reunites in secret with Telemachus. They plot. In the hall, the suitors mock the beggar. Only his old dog Argos, who has waited all these years, recognizes him, wags his tail once, and dies at last. Penelope announces the contest. String Odysseus's great bow and shoot through 12 axe rings. The suitors fail. The beggar strings it effortlessly, shoots the arrow true. And then, without warning, turns the bow on the suitors. 20 years of pain unleashed with every arrow. Blood sprays. None are spared. The beggar removes his hood before Penelope. Recognition breaks her. They embrace. Peace is restored. Odysseus is home, at last. Thank you for sailing through this epic with me. If it moved you, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell. Comment your favorite moment, or what classic we should do next. Until the next great story, this was Neglected Nuggets.